Hey guys, so I was speaking to Marlon and to Al today and talking about kind of just getting around, walking place to place, then checking in with someone and then moving from there. And how in today's world would we do what we do, would I do what I do without this thing? So this is going to be pretty straightforward. No funny business, no travel, no music, anything. It's literally just going to be my 10 favorite apps on this thing that I use when I travel. Now, I'm not going to include stuff like field guides for stars and for mammals, or things like Instagram, even though we're on there 24/7 and we use it when we travel. You post your images and you take selfies and whatnots. But these are the kind of ones that make it practical, that I use a lot, even though I don't really think about it all the time. But these 10 are the ones that I could recommend to you if you're traveling. Let's go. So, first one, KnowRoaming, K-N-O-W, like I know roaming. And the cool thing here is, especially coming from South Africa, is our roaming rates disgusting, horrible, bad. We don't get packages that makes it friendly for us to travel. So what KnowRoaming does, they've got what's called a SIM sticker. You buy the sticker, we buy it at the iStore, which is the Apple Store equivalent in South Africa, and you put that sticker on the back of your SIM card. You then get the app and you can change. When you land in a foreign country, after you've done the setup of course, when you land in a foreign country, it swaps to your traveling SIM. You load data onto there, and from there you buy unlimited data bundle. So every 3 days I think I pay like $5 for unlimited everything, and to me it's fantastic. I mean, it works everywhere. I've tried this all around the world, US, UK, Norway, Africa, and so on and so forth. And the ease of use, you can forward your own number to it. WhatsApp is free, so for those of you that don't know WhatsApp, it's coming up later on my list, but it's free. So dialing, video, messaging, phenomenal. So my first one, which makes it possible for me to use this thing when I travel, is KnowRoaming. Definitely have a look at that one. Number 2, Triplt. Now, if you have one flight or 200 like I do sometimes, you need to know where to go, when to fetch your bag. And Triplt does all of this. You go into your desktop, you load your flights, and I subscribe to Triplt Pro, but even the normal version where you don't subscribe is pretty cool. And it gives you all the updates, flight changes, and it gives you a very nice top to bottom kind of itinerary layout for you. So if you are flying anywhere, Triplt, you need it. Next one's kind of obvious, I think, but still I'm on there literally all the time when I travel. Google Maps. Even walking this afternoon, we had to go and fetch eye drops for Marlon from a pharmacy. So Google Maps open, Walgreens, CVS, whatever it is, 2 blocks down the road, turn right, there it is. Google Maps for me all the time. And the cool thing is that the integration that I now have with Google personally, I've got Google Assistant at home, or what's it, Google Home. So I talk to this thing and it gives me everything. I think it's great. Google Maps, there's things like Waze. If you're going to drive, Waze is cool, W-A-Z-E. But from a walking point of view, and I love walking cities, and just finding out distances or how far it is in case you should walk or get an Uber, Google Maps is my number 3. Number 4, currency converter. Now, in the last month, I've been to 4 different currency locations, and it gets very confusing whether it's £2 or £2 because it's dramatically different, you see. Now, I use, EX, I think, currency converter. I should know this because I'm recording this vlog, and I've just gone blank for a moment, but I'm checking it for you as we speak. XE, currency converter. The cool thing on the iPhone is it adds into your, what's this called? So if you scroll that way, right, it gives you all of your apps and widgets, and from there you can literally set your home on one and you go from there. So currency converter, when you travel, obviously is a no-brainer. You have to have it. Now this one, if you asked me a little while ago, I wasn't sure this one would make the list, but Evernote. So the Notes app on the iPhone is not bad, it's okay. But Evernote for me is great. I've got it on my laptop, I've got it on my desktop, and on my desktop at home, everywhere. They're all synced. So what I use it for example, in the office is I will, if I'm doing a long caption for Instagram, I would write it in Evernote. I can ignore it for a little bit, do something else, and then it syncs straight to here. I can cut and paste, much easier. But what I do when I travel, and this is why when I started thinking about this, it's something I use literally all the time. So Evernote for me is, I'm looking at some on my list here, who I need to email, what I need to email, things I want to buy, reviews I've read, and then what I also have is a working note, which is links that I share out often. So Evernote, I wouldn't have thought so, but it's up there. It is my number, what did we say it was? Number 5. Now, number 6 should probably be before I travel, and I've thought about this, but I use it a lot. It's bookings.com. Now, all of my accommodation for like this trip, I book through bookings.com. The reason for me is, look, there's Expedia and hotels and stuff. I just happen to have bookings.com first, and it works well. So what I'll do, knowing I'm coming to San Francisco, I will book accommodation. Obviously, there's a budget and a location. I'll go as middle of the city as I can. Now, I don't have to initially pay because I search for accommodation that I can only pay when I get there. So they hold it for me. I can then go and arrange meetings and presentations and such. And once I'm done, I can then sit back and graph on a map, Google Maps. I can graph where all my meetings are. If necessary, I can then just move my accommodation to work better. It worked great for London. It works great for here. So bookings.com. And the cool thing is when I'm looking for distances and addresses, I just click there and it's all in. So I've still, after this, got 3 destinations. So knowing where the address is, knowing the telephone number all in one place, bookings.com, probably before I travel, but I still use it during. Pretty cool. Now, this one is pretty cool. It's called Wi-Fi Map. I don't subscribe to them, not the full version, so I've got ads, which is fine. But what it is, it's a user-generated thing where people load Wi-Fi passwords. It's pretty cool. Like Waze, for example, is a user-generated GPS system where people load potholes and police and speed traps and what have you. What Wi-Fi Map is, people load, when they get a Wi-Fi password, they load it on there. So most coffee shops these days have it. But sometimes you'll be somewhere, you need a Wi-Fi password. Open that, you need to be online, there's the catch. So roam for a little bit if you need to. Open Wi-Fi Map, it'll show you the Wi-Fi's around you, and it'll show you their passwords. It's awesome. It's really cool. Then this one I originally used this mostly just for running. It's called Footpath. And what you can do is it picks you up on GPS. So you can sit at your hotel, picks you up on GPS, and then you can click. So I plan my running routes, I plan accordingly. But if you're going to do a walk through a city or, I don't know, to go do shopping. Ooh, excuse me. If you're going to go do shopping, you can, I need a break of water, hang on. Frog in the throat. Okay, and we're back. So for me, I do it for running, and you literally click on the corners and it connects the line as you go, right? And it gives you how far it is. So if I know I'm on a 10K, I can just click through until I get to 10Ks. I can say loop back and it brings me back. If you want to go and walking through Manhattan, for example, you want to go down 38th, up on 8th, come across and then come back down, you can graph your route and you know exactly what it is. And then when you look at it later on, it gives you the side profile for elevation as well. So planning your runs or walks through cities, Footpath, pretty cool. Now, my second last one here that I use more and more now actually is Google Assistant. Now the funny thing is here, I can't get this in the South African App Store, iTunes Store, but I've got an American account as well, so I got it from there. So Google Assistant is a standalone app where you just talk to it. Now, I've always been a bit weird, like, hey Google, is it raining? Yeah. But the cool thing is now that I've got Google Home at my home. So there's 4 Google Home speakers in the house, and I speak to it all the time. What's the weather? Is it raining? What's my first meeting? What time is my flight? And Google gives me all of this. And the same thing now applies with Google Assistant. Because I'm jacked into the system, I find it very comfortable. So if I'm walking in a city, right, I'm looking around, I don't want to be here all the time. So it's easy for me to open it, talk, look around, and then it spits back, even if I've got my earphones in, or just on here, it gives me the information. So Google Assistant and the voice integration, I like it. I mean, Siri's good, I think. I've never really got to like her much, but Google Assistant for me, definitely cool. And then the last one, and this is a funny one for me because most Americans, majority, don't actually use WhatsApp. People who travel, Americans who travel, use WhatsApp, and the rest of the world uses WhatsApp. But to me, and I think it's also maybe because it's free on KnowRoaming, the first one that I gave you. So voice dialing, video dialing, messaging, you can share locations, you can share contacts, images, videos, and so on. It is open all the time. I use it to stay in touch with home, the office, family, and so on and so forth. So for now, Al, myself, and Marlon are in the US. We create a US group. I've got the Wild Eye group, I've got the Wild Eye Guides group, which you don't want to know what's going on there. It's just messy. But WhatsApp for me is my last one. From a communication point of view, it is, to me, a must-have. So there you go. Those are my 10 apps that I would suggest when you travel. These other ones. There's Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, all of those. There's Yelp. There is Been There, which is a coffee shop searcher, if you will. There is Pay As You Gym. So there's a whole bunch of different ones, but these to me form the backbone of when I travel, and I find them very handy. So what do you use? Which apps did I miss anything? Should I know about something? Let me know. Oh, TripAdvisor is another one which I use often, but not as much as these. So let me know which ones you use. Keen to find out, but go and check these out. They are pretty phenomenal. What I'm going to do is at the bottom in the YouTube comments down there in the description, I'm going to leave a blog post, and then from that blog post you can link to all of those on both the Android and the Apple Store to go and check it out. Anyway, that's it for now. Tomorrow I'm off to Smug Mug. I'm going to go present there. The website's pretty cool, awesome. If you need a website for a photography kind of thing, go check it out. But that's it for now. I'll chat to you guys in the next vlog. Bye-bye now.